Good evening, folks, and you come for a blether. So, you would have got a wee bit more footage than this, what you're seeing, but my phone was clogged up with videos, and I hadn't been doing my admin, so I had to give up on some of them. So, you've got a portion of this clean-up. So, this is a shooting stick made by BSA, Birmingham Small Arms. Made a lot of things like motorbikes and things like that back in the day. A lot of guys years and years ago had a wee motorbike called the BSA Bantam, and they made a lot of air guns and things like that as well, and a lot of other guns, shotguns, rifles, things like that. But for guys my age, they'd have been more familiar with break barrel air rifles coming from Birmingham, things like the Meteor, Mercury, Air Sporter, things like that. And at one time, every young guy would have likely had an air rifle. But this is a shooting stick, or a shooting seat I should say, not a shooting stick. There's a leather sling seat sits in here, and when you feel like a wee rest when you're out shooting or watching sport or doing whatever, you can have a wee perch on that. Just a little leg that stops it digging in the ground, this little thing like a bottom of a ski here. But I've been cleaning up the aluminium. It was a bit tarnished before, like I say, you would have got that, but I had to delete a lot of stuff, so it was in the cull. So I'm just going to get a wee bit of autosol on that cloth now and just work it through all the aluminium and get it shining. Got the bottom looking a lot better as well. It was very tarnished from living in the shed for a number of years, but I'm sure we can make it look a wee bit more presentable. Got a piece of leather in the vise here protecting the stick part. Got a pair of gloves on for doing this autosol because it makes a lot of black residue. Quite like doing these random restorations for people. I think I probably volunteered myself to do this after the stick was mentioned, but I used to watch a programme on the television called The Repair Shop, and people took like family treasures and not expensive things, but things that were important, and they got fixed. And I used to watch that, but I stopped watching it because some of the stories are a wee bit heartfelt, and when you're a big softie, it's hard to watch at times. So this autosol makes a fantastic job of polishing this aluminium. Really does, just tiny wee bits making all the difference. Don't know if you can see that, the shine in there, but it is looking really nice. And like I say, it's the tiniest wee bit of autosol. There's a few dinks and stuff on this where it's fell and hit stones, and maybe been hung on a nail in the shed and it's caught it a wee bit, but I'm not taking any of that out. I'm just shining up what's there. And I'm sure the results will be appreciated. the old Autosol, like a stuck record about it, but it is some of the best polish that I've ever used on anything, and it gets brilliant results. This was just sort of the normal aluminium tarnish, looking all faded and a bit crusty, but that little rub with the fine wire wool and this bit of Autosol is fairly rejuvenating it. It's shining like a new shilling, as I saying round here. Shining like a new penny. So, nice and shiny. Pretty pleased with that. I'm just going to work on it with the clean part of the cloth now. Just to buff that up, take any residue off. It's dare say you can still buy these. I see them a lot at the car boot sale. I've never picked one up myself, although I could be needing one very soon for a wee perch now and again. Help the old sore knees. Pleased with that, that's coming up nice. A lot shinier there than it was before. Not saying it's as shiny as it was when it left BSA. So there's the BSA sign there. It's looking really nice. A few scratches on this kind of bronzy, coppery coloured post, but we'll live with those because they're just battle scars. We polish a lot, make it look a lot shinier, but can't refinish any of those scratches. But we can clean it. The bottom part I've cleaned, but I'm not going to spend any effort polishing that because that sits on the ground and it's got all its wee dings from previous trips out, clunking it down into the soil because you stick that spike in the soil and the pad stops you going sinking in. So there you go, that's the aluminium part cleaned up. It's looking nice. Now I think we'll have a wee part 2 doing the leather and attaching it all back up again. So, don't know if you enjoyed that or not, hope so, hope you enjoyed it. And we will catch up soon for part 2 of the shooting seat. And you can come and join me for more Blathers from the Shed.